It's another installment of the Zuul Runner Build Series, and we're finally going to be able to mount our rear axle and suspension to the chassis rails. Then we can take all this and mount it to the B74. Hopefully by the end of this video, we'll have a complete rolling chassis. So let's get started. First on the list is to assemble the rear end using the Scale Mail Supplies Whoopa Capra rails and the Gatekeeper trailing arms. All right, we have the whole rear end assembled. Went together with no issues. It's all nice and plush. This is going to give us some nice suspension movement. Now, all I need to do is figure out how I'm going to mount this whole rear suspension to the B74 chassis. And that'll be coming up soon. But the first thing I need to address is how I'm going to drive the rear axle from the B74 center transmission. The way I'm going to do that is, this is the outdrive from the B74. And as you can see, there's no way that the outdrive from the Element Enduro is going to mount to the outdrive here. My initial plan was to make an adapter to fit in here and to mount onto here, but I don't think that's going to work too well. But I have a better solution, and that is to use an Enduro SE Stealth XF outdrive. This will be perfect. Go ahead and take it out of the package. The reason why this is a perfect fit, it's already set up to accept the Element Enduro axle or drive shaft. It's already set up to go into the bearing that's on this size. And it just so happens that the diameter of the shaft here is the same diameter of this shaft. So I don't have to turn anything down. The only thing I'll need to do is cut this off. I'll just need to cut this off here at the end. Cut this off right here at the end, as close as I can to this this area here. Then drill in that hole. I'll have to drill that hole into the shaft. And then this whole thing will slide into, and then I'll need to turn this down too, because take off this lip right here. That shouldn't be a problem. My only worry is drilling that hole, because this is hardened steel. So we'll have to go slow, take our time, but it'll work. So this is next to do on the list. So let's get started. Well, there we are. We're another step closer. We got the front end of the B74. We got that all situated. That's all working together. We got the rear end of the Element Enduro with our modified hybrid axle. That's all working together. We got the drivetrain to work together, front and the rear. That's working out perfect. And now all I need to do is make the brackets to mount the rear end to the B74 chassis. So I'm excited this thing is coming together. Are you excited? I'm excited. So let's get to making these brackets. To make these brackets, I jumped into Adobe Illustrator and drew a couple of different variations up and then printed them out on paper. I didn't know which set I was going to use, but I did end up going with the longer set since I have more screws, and that'll be better for mounting the rear end to the chassis. Now I just need to clean them up. There we go. We got our mounting brackets for the chassis rails to mount it to the chassis. So off camera, I ended up installing these plastic servo mounts to help support the chassis side guards a little bit more towards the rear. After cutting them, there was a little bit too much movement I wasn't happy with, so this helps solve that problem. You know, this episode really put a smile on my face. It's at this point of a project where you see all the hard work starting to come together, all that machining, all the planning, all the figure out which parts are going to go where and all that sort of stuff. It's cool. It's really, really fun, and that's what I like about a project: seeing it all come together and seeing it work. Oh, and while I was filming this episode, this showed up from Boom Racing. It's the wheels that are going to go on the Zuul Runner. So if you want to see what wheels that are going to go on it, make sure you tune into the next episode. That's going to do it for this one. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell on. We'll see you next time.